Last Saturday, I traveled to Arcata, to the Arcata Playhouse, to see a thought-provoking and controversial piece of theater. The play is entitled F.U. Unicorn, and we're joined by playwright and cast member Zuzka Sabata.
I did write the play, and Laura and Katie then contributed to the development of the play. And the tagline I've used that helps to put everything in a nice, neat little box is that it's an interactive children's musical play about childhood sexual abuse for adults only. And so it's a play about a very difficult subject that society, all of us, don't want to talk about, don't like to talk about. And there aren't a lot of community spaces, like non-crisis spaces, to share the consequences of that experience. I had that experience in childhood, and I started actually writing songs about it initially a couple of years ago, but also realized I wanted to be very playful with the material, and also wanted to really evoke childhood, because that's when it happened. So the play really is a delightful children's musical play. There's a lot of interactive elements to keep the audience engaged. We serve snacks at halftime. Mm-hmm. There are blankets for people to cuddle in.
The issue at the center of the play is one that's barely able to be discussed in our society. As I said, I saw the play, and at times it was painful, horrifying, and at times incredibly hilarious.
That's life. That's life.
Well, I mean, it took a lot to get to that, I would think.
But how do you talk about this without making everyone want to run out of the room? You have to, not make it so horrifying, and that you just need clowns. You need clowns to talk about it, and I think Zuzka did such an amazing job bringing us the scripts and bringing us the songs and
bringing you in,
knowing that there was someone just weird and goofy enough to take on that material and not be scared, so. It's just like a magic combo.
That was Laura, also a member of the principal 3 cast members for F.U. Unicorn. As stated earlier, talking about childhood sexual abuse is virtually taboo in this country. So I would think that it would be painful and challenging to do that, especially when you're talking about your own experiences in a public venue, regardless of the vehicle being used to do so. Katie, the third member of the cast, joined our conversation.
Leading up to the previous performances, it was like this, the Scarlet Letter or something. You're like, oh, I'm doing a play about this.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Here's my letter. And then, But then now it's like super fun and goofy, and we get to laugh. And then people are like, but then you still tell people what the play is, and they're like, oh, well. And you're like, no, but it's really
it's fun.
It's fun.
This is a fun play about sexual abuse.
No, it is. It is a fun play about childhood sexual abuse, which in some way is kind of disquieting to me, but at the same time, I was incredibly glad that I was able to see it and watch it unfold.
Oh, I'm so glad. I don't know. I think that because who we are as artists, we also were able to really take the time to talk about how much of a mixed bag this whole topic is, and how much of a mixed bag it is for the folks that experience this in their life, and the beat goes on, and you have to just keep going, and life does continue, and you continue to have like an experience beyond that defining situation. You know what I mean? Like, there's going to be good things that happen to you in life, and there's going to be bad things. And, you know, you should be able to talk about both, honestly, to be able to kind of work through what comes up. And I guess I feel really privileged to work with people that aren't afraid to look at the light and the dark. And then that's what happens. You make a piece that it incorporates both. And that's good art. I don't know. It's probably not cool for one of the artists to say that what we made is good art, but
I think it's fine to say that.
Amen to that. I mean, in the sense that we really do need to be able to talk about the good and the bad. And this subject in particular has a history of suppression, which makes one wonder why. It's so interesting that it's very prevalent considering how taboo it is in society. And yet it's really, there just isn't, I mean, that was why I started writing it, because I was like, when do I get to talk about this with people? And honestly, like, romantic partners were not that great about dealing with the information either, you know, the most intimate of people. And because it also most often, statistically most often, occurs with people that are close to the child, it's taboo as a subject matter in the family as well, because it is very destructive of relationships. So we don't really have great mechanisms to address the trauma that occurs and to support both the victims and the people perpetrating it, because, you know, it's just like...
Yeah, there's that too.
Yeah.
Like, being a perpetrator, that's a moment in your life where maybe somebody was confused and acted inappropriately. Does that mean that they are forever like a terrible person? Hopefully not. Hopefully you could say, I'm sorry, and grow from it and move forward, like, restoratively with themselves and the person that, you know, they perpetrated the abuse against. It's just, but that stuff takes a lot of work, and it takes a lot of attention,
and that's
patience,
what it's not getting.
Honesty, you know, all of these things. I don't know. It's just, it's the tip of the iceberg to start a conversation that needed to be happening like 200 years ago. But, like, I don't know. What are you gonna do? You gotta start somewhere. Somewhere.
Well, that was.
And I feel like it also takes a lot of courage to come as an audience member too. So I appreciate you coming. I feel like a lot of people that hear about it, they're a little bit shied away from being uncomfortable.
In the spirit of FU Unicorn, this is a perfect place to break into song.
There's a voice in my head that keeps calling me back. There's a voice in my head that keeps calling me back. I am not half an ass. I am all horse, okay? My ass is an entire horse's ass. It's all horse, okay? If I were half an ass, that would make me a mule. And mules are infertile. Although I've never been pregnant, so I guess I'm not quite sure about that. But I'm definitely all horse. I am all horse. I feel like a unicorn. I mean, like, I feel like I'm different and special and unique and all by myself. But I'm just an ordinary, lonely horse. I like doing normal horse things, like taking long trots on the beach at sunset. But some days, I just want to trot off into the set, never come back. There's a voice in my head that keeps calling me back. There's a voice in my head that keeps calling me back. There's a voice in my head that keeps calling me back. There's a voice in my head that keeps calling me back. There's a voice in my head that keeps calling me back.
Zuzka Sabata is a well-known playwright, performer, and producer in the Humboldt area, in part due to her longtime association with the Del Arte School in Blue Lake. So we wanted to learn a little bit more about her castmates. This is Katie.
Well, actually, this is the first play I've acted in maybe like 25 years or something. I don't think of myself as an actor, but I like to sing a lot, and Zuzka and I have been pen pals for years, and so I feel like I can get like, she knows everything about me, really. There's no filter there, so it was really comfortable for me to work with her. But yeah, I also performed in several other things at the Playhouse, and I help run the Sanctuary, which is a community arts center in Arcata.
And we had an opportunity to learn a little bit more about Laura as well.
I know Zuzka through the Synapsis cabarets that were happening during the Arts Alive pre-pandemic days. I'm sure it'll get back rolling again. But, you know, the Synapsis used to do this yearly cabaret called the Dada Cabaret.
In Eureka.
And it's like my favorite because it is so wild and surreal, and we've worked on projects through that project and got to know each other's weirdness and willingness to play and collaborate.
We share some DNA.
I'm pretty sure, definitely.
Yeah.
And so, you know, when like all the Me Too stuff was happening, I remember I really wanted to like get together to make some art with some people about it.
And by the way, Laura's an amazing theater artist and visual artist as well, which is how I got to know her. Amazing.
Thank you. And I just, I really wanted to do the project. And so when Zuzka approached me about what she had been writing and what she'd been cooking up in her brain, I was like, sign me up.
Zuzka talked about her creative collaboration with Katie and Laura.
If I had to write a different play to get Katie and Mango to work with me, I mean, I don't care what the play would have been about. The fact that I got to collaborate and work with these two ladies on just anything, that's been awesome. And I have to just also acknowledge our accompanist, Nick Moore.
Oh my gosh.
Who is not with us on the phone here today, but he accompanies us on guitar, and is also just such an amazing human, amazing musician, but just his capacity to hold the space with us has been very dear.
There's one more opportunity to see a live performance of FU Unicorn.
We have one more performance within the Arcata Playhouse's Women's Festival, which is called Zero to Fierce. It will be on Saturday, March 12th at 2:30 in the afternoon, and you can get more information and tickets at their website, which is zerotofierce.org, and it's spelled out ZEROTO. ERCE.org.
And tickets are $10.
Yeah, $10 and also not a floss. No one turned away for lack of fundies.
Yeah, which is so nice too, because I mean there are a lot of people that are like, I don't know, I can't spend the money. Like come out to the show and
Yeah.
Laugh a little and cry a little.
Yeah, and get cuddled, get snacks.
Get cuddled, get snacks.
I mean, not cuddled by others, in the blanket.
Yeah, cuddled in your own personal
with consent.
Yeah,
Self-cuddling.
Self-cuddling.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
So let me ask you.
Appropriate self-cuddling.
Appropriate self-cuddling, yes. Well, there's probably
how it goes.
there's probably a whole play in that too.
Oh, yeah. Next one. Yeah, exactly.
So
Sequel.
let me ask you before we get out of here, final thoughts. What is it that you would really like to convey to our listeners?
If this is something that touches you, metaphorically. Sorry, we've gone down that road. Please have okay, people keep saying that we're courageous for doing this, but I think that the audience is courageous for being there far more than we are, and sharing that courage with them is really amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to say be brave, but the thing is you're already brave. If this is something that's in your life, you are brave. So come on out and let's hang out together and be brave together.
The final scheduled performance of FU Unicorn takes place this coming Saturday at the Arcata Playhouse in Arcata. I encourage you to check it out. For KFUG Community News, I'm Mike Thornton.